Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming with another video review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the new Sideshow Collectibles 1/6 scale prototype Boba Fett. It is a Sideshow Collectible exclusive, and it's very white. As you can see, Star Wars Boba Fett prototype armor. Now, some people might not necessarily know what that means, but I'll explain it here. Really nice package, though. It comes all the way around, and this is what you're left with, a white, or all-white version, I should say, of Boba Fett. Now, it is the magnetic package. You open it up, and then you got some tissue paper. Removing that, it says, "Meet Boba Fett." In 1978, Joe Johnston designed an early prototype of the infamous bounty hunter Boba Fett for Star Wars Episode V, The Empire Strikes Back. The original Super Trooper design featured striking all-white armor and the first prototypes of Fett's trademark weapons. So this is what you're basically getting. You're getting that prototype look, and it's very, very cool. I mean, the classic look is amazing. Nobody can ever talk bad about that, but there's just something really very cool about this. The white just gives it a very striking look. And I do actually like how they explain why this is what it is. It definitely gives a bit of an explanation that some people might not necessarily know and might not appreciate all that much. The problem with a white box, though, is you get fingerprints on there, and that's not any good. So beyond that, that's about it for the packaging. An all-white figure is going to be interesting to film here with my all-white background. So let's give it a try, and let's get this guy open and see how cool he actually is. Alright guys, so here we have Boba Fett opened up and out of its packaging. And much like I usually do, I'm going to start off first taking a look at his accessories. First, this is the Sideshow exclusive piece that you get. If you buy this directly from them, you do get this. I'll touch on this in a second, but setting that off to the side, you do get a total of 5 hands. You get a total of 3 left hands. You can see that these are in a trigger figure. This is kind of him supporting a gun sort of hand, and then he comes with 2 right hands, and you can see that it's a trigger finger on this one as well, and then he's just got the regular fists. But these are absolutely wonderfully detailed. Zooming in as much as I can, you can see that they are really very nicely detailed. There's a lot of dirt in them, which I think looks really very nice. It gives a very real look to it, and is probably the dirtiest part on this all-white figure. All of them do have that wonderful paint wash on there, and it's absolutely stunning. I do love it. In addition to that, you do get a couple extra small little tool things. They are kind of like knives, I guess. This is a knife looking thing. This is a random thing. This is a serrated edge. It kind of looks like maybe it would be a gun sort of thing, and then a pipe sort of thing. But you can come around here, and his pants actually have little storage spots for him. You can knock down his jetpack, take this, and kind of wiggling these in here, keep that up so you can see what's going on. These all actually can store in little pockets on the sides of his legs, and I knocked his cape off. Getting that in there. Getting them in isn't all that easy, but you can fit them in there. So really a very nice touch to make sure that those are included in there. So I love that, and I love that there's storage. He does come with 2 weapons. He's got just a blaster here, and then you also do have a rifle. But these are really nicely detailed. When you take a look at the paint on here, I mean, you can see that some really nice paint detail, very small paint details are added on there, and I really dig that. Both of these have a very kind of 70s laser blaster thing feel to them, and I dig it. I really, really do. And then you come around here and you can see a little bit of because my camera decided to go crazy, but you can see a little screw detail on there. I mean, really a very nice piece all the way around. And like I said, the regular hand blaster is just as nice. He does come with his very iconic thruster backpack on here. The top section here does remove, and it's interesting because this actually removed in the prototype that people walked around in. You can see that this section here does rotate up. This one is a little bit loose. It kind of drips down, but that's not too bad. You can actually fix that if you wanted to. So you do have that very nice silver detail on there as well. And then you put that right back in here. You got the thrusters that are posable. You can move those up, down, on both sides. Really nice detail. Even on the inside here, you can see some nice vents. Really, really very impressive piece. It's all in this white plastic. There are very subtle paint details. You got like a little red bit right there. You got an emblem there, little details painted right on there. Everything is white. It's what it's meant to be. He is meant to kind of look like a stormtrooper. And I love the fact that they changed it. If this is how he was going to look in the movie, it probably would have looked really weird next to those guys. But really very nice. Now, he also does come with his normal cape. If you get it through any other retailer, this is the cape that you'll get. One thing that I'm kind of weirded out about is how you connect it. There's a little, very small string right up on his shoulder. That little bit right there, that's the only thing that I can think of that you use the little hook and you grab that with. The only problem is I don't like putting it there. It makes me nervous that it'll pull it off or something. And there's no other hook area. I mean, I guess I could hook it on like the back, on the underside here of his armor, but it's supposed to be over his shoulder like that. And that kind of bugs me. Unless there's something else, this side does not have that. So that's the only thing I can think of that is meant to hook the actual cape. Now, that being said, he does come with the adjustable display stand cradle with a really funky look on here. It is designed to replicate this. Now, in the original prototype for this, when they were walking around in it and testing it out and showing it off, they wanted to do a very kind of Old West sort of look with having a little cape over his gun arm. That's what they wanted to do, but they didn't have anything, except they had a Star Wars beach towel, which is what this is meant to replicate. And it's terrific. It's a very nice throw to the original concept of it. It does have a hook on here, but what you need to do is that you see that the hook is on the opposite side. You do have to sort of hook this around. Well, actually, it should be on the other side, I would think, because this, well, no, I guess that'll work right here, because what they did, hooking this onto that little bit of string, the towel was put in or on the opposite side, so you wouldn't see the Star Wars beach stuff. So I really do dig that. I think that's a wonderful touch, and definitely is something that would separate this from just the regular retail version. So I'm thrilled. I love this thing. Now, coming to the figure himself, again, this is an absolutely gorgeous figure. This is a little bit different than a previous release of Boba Fett. The biggest thing that I've noticed, I guess, is that the armor up on the chest and abdomen are all held on by Velcro. So you can actually take this off, and then, as you can see, you can play with it a little bit to get it to look as good as you want it to on the actual body. But the figure is really very, very nice. It is a very white figure, so one would be concerned about a couple different things. Number one, getting it dirty. You can't really throw this in the wash and clean it. The other thing being, if it's in the sun, it could yellow over time. So you do want to be careful with this, as most collectors would be. But the amount of detail on here is really very, very impressive. The gauntlets here, you got a nice wire that comes up into his tricep area. I mean, really gorgeous detail on there. Again, some very subtle paint details added to it, just making it look very cool. You got a flamethrower on this arm. You got a very nice launching dart gun thing right here. Very, very cool. You got a couple little markings right on there. You got some markings on his actual face there. You got a bit right there. He does have his little target that comes down. I don't know how well that's going to come across, but one bit is painted. There are two little nubs on here. One is painted red and the upper one is not painted at all. So really very nice. It doesn't seem as low as it should be. It almost seems like it should be lower, but that's just kind of a nitpick, I guess, putting that back up. Come around here, you got the little hooks here for his jetpack, which I'll show here in just a second. His belt around the actual waist is held on by Velcro, so you can adjust that as well. He's got a lot of pockets here with foam in them. It's kind of full. I wish it would be a little bit thinner because those pockets really stand out and give him a weird look, I suppose. I love his knee pads, how he's got little darts on, or dart guns on there. Come down here to the feet, you can see these are just softer rubber, but he's got little spikes on his actual feet. It's absolutely gorgeous, and a very nice paint job on that as well. You got a nice little silver paint job. Very, very cool all the way around. It's just absolutely impressive. Now, his jetpack, like I said, just hooks on. You got two little hooks right here, and you got the little pegs or metal pegs right here. It's easier to lift it up and then slot it down. It's kind of a pain sometimes to get it, but there we go. Once you get it, kind of straighten it on there, and then you got that very cool, again, iconic look. Now, for me, I'm not going to put his cape on and get him to stand up a little bit better. I'm not going to put the cape on. I just, like I said, I am very nervous about hooking that onto that little piece of string, and I don't really see anywhere else other than, like I said, maybe hooking it onto the Under Armour. I guess you could do something like that, but it doesn't actually clip on to anything, so it's just there. I mean, it looks cool. I mean, that's a cool look for him, and it's very, very Boba Fett-ish, so maybe I will just do it like that. Or honest, I mean, to be totally honest, it's something, this whole thing here really does crack me up. I absolutely love this, so I might just take this and put this under there just to give it that real look. I mean, this is what it's originally intended to look like, but again, it doesn't stay on there very well, so who knows. Now, he does have a little holster of sorts right down here. You got this, and you can have him, you can loop this in and get his weapon in there. It's a bit of a chore to actually do. You gotta loosen this up and unhook it, but unless, I don't know if this actually, or if that detaches. No, that doesn't detach, but I mean, you can see that you just put that in there. You do something like that, although that would probably be very uncomfortable and awkward if he shot himself like that. But when you get it all displayed like that, I mean, it just really looks absolutely impressive. I'm really very impressed with this figure. I absolutely love it, and while I do prefer the way that they decided to make Boba Fett look in the movies with the multicolor look, I'm thrilled to have this figure. I think it's such a wonderful homage to that creative process to bring us Boba Fett in general. Articulation is all the exact same. The head is on a very nice ball joint, so that rotates up, down, all that. Shoulder joints, I do believe there's a 28 points of articulation on here, so you have everything: shoulders, elbows, wrists. I do love that the wrists with Sideshow figures all come with their own individual pegs, or their hands come with all individual pegs. I think that's a brilliant thing, and something that personally I think separates them from Hot Toys. But the figure is just terrific. It's definitely a character that everybody loves from Star Wars. So for me, getting one of the prototype armors for the character really just helps to fill out a collection, I think. I really enjoy this figure and highly recommend, if you are a Star Wars fan or even a Boba Fett fan, I guess, pick this up. It's well worth having. So if you guys are interested in getting them, go ahead and click on the link down in the video description. You'll go to Sideshow Collectibles where you can pick this guy up today and add him to your collection. But beyond that, that's about it, guys. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Optibotimus. Keep in touch with me. Find out recent purchases as well as all upcoming video reviews all at facebook.com/teambotimus, and by following me over on Twitter at twitter.com/optibotimus. Also, don't forget to check out my new website at optibotimusreviews.com. And if you like this review, please rate, subscribe, and share this video. And until next time, I'll talk to you later.